أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله الكبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. We are here with another opportunity that God has given us, and so we can redeem ourselves and get closer to our Creator. So this is a huge occasion for us. It's a blessing from Him, and so we should be accordingly grateful to the source of this blessing that we have today. And these are not by accident; it's by divine design and providence that we are inspired today to do this action that we are doing, this task that we are performing today. This ritual that we are going through, which is making contact with our Creator, and He's told us exactly what to say and how to do it. So gain comes from inspiration from God, and so we have to be very honored about this occasion, and that, as I said, we are inspired by Him, and so we should make sure that we understand it, and we are grateful to the source of this huge blessing, and we have to steadfastly persevere in asking God to resolve our issues, to resolve our problems, and persistently and consistently do that, and He will respond to us. This is God's promise, and He'll respond to us, and He will fix our situation and makes it better for us, so we can have more peace and contentment and fulfillment in our lives. Again, gratefulness and thankfulness and appreciativeness is a godlike quality. He's always grateful for what we do, with all the good deeds that we do in this world, and He encourages us to do more. And so we also have to respond in kind and be grateful to the source of everything that we have that's coming from God. So today, what I wanted to discuss with you, the process of inspiration. So I brought that into discussion, in the introduction of this raka, or this unit of the contact phrase today. So this process is a very unique process. Process of inspiration is a very unique process. God is telling us that. He says, when He created the skies and the land, or the vacuum and matter, and then God says, then He inspired into every layer or every vacuum its laws. So that the law that applies here may not apply in other universes. So there are different laws. So God is telling us about that. So He's telling us that, look, guys, you cannot use equation to describe everything. They won't work. Okay. So He made this in this form, in this situation. And then once He does that, then He inspires all of the different components of this huge mechanism that God has created. And that inspiration, I'm just going to the Quran, and we'll see it together. So let's see, where is it? Right here. Okay, very good. So I want to go to 16:123, and 16:123, God is telling us about the nation of Abraham, and God tells us here that then we inspired you to follow the nation of Abraham, the monotheist. He was never one of those who set up partners for God. He did not associate anybody with God. Okay. For him, God alone was sufficient. Okay. So here we are. And God is saying here, He says that we inspired you to follow. Okay. The translation falls short of this fact that it says, ثُمَّ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ, not عَلَيْكَ, إِلَيْكَ, in your direction. So that was specifically earmarked for Muhammad. Okay. So once he was inspired, he knew exactly how Abraham did his prayers. He knew exactly what to do. Okay. And people still have trouble with that. How did he do it? What did he say? All kinds of questions to just throw rocks into the way of not doing the contact prayers. Okay, that's a satanic trick. Because Satan knows that he doesn't want you to do your contact prayers. So he makes you ask those questions. Okay, that is a bunch of hooey. Okay, now I'll bring you another example. I'm going to go to the same chapter, chapter 16, which is called the bee, by the way. Okay, and I'm going to go to 16:68. 68. Okay, and God says, and your Lord inspired the bee to make homes in the mountains and in the trees and what they build. Okay, again, you see, God says, وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ, in the direction of the bee. That inspiration is only tailored for the bee, not for the ant, not for me, not for you. It's directed specifically, it's a vector. Some of you who have a little bit of calculus probably know what a vector is. A vector is a quantity that has magnitude and direction. Okay. This beam that comes, this beam of inspiration that comes, is only tailored to you. Okay. Nobody else. So we go to 21:73. It says that we made them leaders who guided according to our command, and we inspired them to do righteous work and to observe the contact praise and to give the cleansing charity, and to us they were worshippers. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ, in their direction. The vector came in the direction. It didn't hit anybody else. So I cannot teach somebody to do good works. They are going to do evil work, and then they're going to say, well, God wanted us to do this. How many times have you heard that? If God didn't want us to do evil work, we wouldn't do it. Okay. So that vector is specifically with that. So I cannot teach people that. They have to be inspired. How can you tell people to do their contact praise? They won't do it. How can you make people to do their cleansing charity? Oh, we give taxes. Okay. So we're not considered part of this. Okay. All kinds of excuses. Because that vector is not coming the direction. And I cannot do it. Nobody can do it. Okay. This is God's system. Okay. The inspiration is uniquely tailored for a specific purpose, for a specific thing. Moses' mother, accordingly, was inspired by God to do what? To put the baby in some box and throw into the river. Crazy thing to do, isn't it? Okay. But she was told what's going to happen to the baby. She was inspired. It's going to be picked up by an enemy of his and an enemy of mine. That's what's going to happen. Okay? Can you imagine that? So that's specifically for Moses' mother and no one else, that inspiration. So today, accordingly, we are inspired. So God has been that inspiration to us that we are actually doing this practice today. Otherwise, we won't do it. We log off. We don't care. We say we have other things to do. All kinds of excuses come in there for this 15 to 20 minutes, okay, to be abrogated. Because that person is not inspired to do it. That beam is not coming from God towards him or her. Okay? This is the accuracy of the Quran. This is why we have to pay attention to these things. That's why we have to steadfastly persevere, as I said, okay, in what God is telling us. When God says he responds to people when they call upon him, he's not lying. Okay? You ask him. Ask him to mend your situation, to fix your situation. If you have any problems, ask him to do that. Do not argue with people who are on the other side. It doesn't matter what they say. It's not your business to convince them, as I just said it. Okay? The fi'l al-khayrat, which means to do act righteous work, okay, that's an inspiration by God. Comes to specific people. It's a beam. That beam goes through a lot of other people. It's not absorbed by those people. It's specifically tailored for that guy. He has the right cross-section, so to speak. Scientists, I like to say that, to absorb that person. So Muhammad didn't know who Abraham was. Okay? He couldn't Google Abraham to see what he did, or where he lived, or when he lived. He had no idea. So how did he know? Because he was inspired. The beam came to Muhammad, and he told Muhammad exactly what Abraham did, and he followed the nation of Abraham automatically. Just like the honeybee. That beam comes to the honeybee specifically for honeybee. Not for the ants, not for the spiders. Okay? Not for me and you, specifically to the honeybee. And then the honeybee knows exactly what to do. Okay? How to build homes, how to do these other kinds of things that God is describing so beautifully in the Quran to us. Okay? But again, as I said, if you're not inspired, you're going to run away from this. That beam is not coming, or beam is coming to your direction, but you ignore it. You cannot absorb it. So specifically, this is done by these people. Okay, it says cleansing, charity, and to us they were worshippers. Okay, they served God. So this is the beauty of the Quran. This is what we learn from the Quran. And this is how we should fashion our lives to follow the Quran. Okay. And if we, as I said, if we disobey, we throw these things, and then bad things will happen one after another. Okay. And there's nothing we can do about it. And then it gets to the point that we cannot connect the dots that, well, maybe we're doing something wrong. We got to fix ourselves. You can't even do that. You continue doing the same thing, okay? And then what's that called? Insanity. You do the same thing over and over and over, and you expect a different result. Well, it won't give you a different result. It gives you the same bad result that it did before. Okay? So, again, here we are learning from the Quran, okay, that these things are tailored specifically. Okay? And so if we are worthy of it, and we were worthy of it today, those of us who are here today, either in cyberspace, with the internet and the phone, okay, or we are here in person. Okay? So we are inspired to do this. Otherwise we won't be doing this. We'll go, have a 3-martini lunch, so to speak, with our bosses or something like that, and then we are very happy that, we spent some time with our boss. That he gave us the privilege to have lunch with him or something like that. Okay? But here, as I said, that person is not inspired. This comes by inspiration only. And so that is the beauty of it. And so I'm going to stop here and we'll finish this unit. Allahu Kabir.